People will love you, people will hate you, and it will have nothing to do with you. Abraham Hicks, a beautiful quote that reminds us that people's perspective on us is ephemeral and based more on their own beliefs and perspective rather than in the truth. While it is extremely helpful to take advice or counsel from people that we care for and trust, they have not lived our lives, so they will not have the perspective, neither the vision that we have. They will not have the information in those nuanced instances or those nuanced emotions, thoughts that actually have formed our experiences and our beliefs as well. And if we have been chronically in survival mode, especially with our tactic being people pleasing, we will actually not have a good vision or a clearer idea or a clarity around whom to trust and what advices to take and not take. As energy sensitive people, we tend to, or strive to rather, create ease, and that has actually created this algorithm within us that others being at ease or adhering to other people's needs is equal to ease, relaxation, and maybe we have connected that to being the truth or to being the reality that is actually true for us, which may not always be the case. What this creates is a sense of self that's highly likely negative in nature, a loss of identity, an inner critic which is extremely disempowering and highly critical of every thought, feeling, and emotion. And to add icing to the cake, when the truth is revealed, when that tower moment occurs, when we distance ourselves from the situation and that false foundation breaks down, when the truth comes up, our self confidence actually breaks because we tend to realize how much of these things were false, and it sends into a frenzy around identity crisis because we tend to look up to these people. We know that they love us, and we know that they have shown us time and again that they are our well wishers. We tend to forget this beautiful quote that's so common: to err is human. They too are humans, they too have created mistakes in some way, shape, or form, and their own lives might be created, or perspectives rather might be created in certain erroneous ways which may not work for you, or which may be actually erroneous for you to apply in your life as well. Another thing to remember is this beautiful planet, this magnificent sun that shines upon us every single day, the moon that is around us, around our planet, each and every single atom, the energy that flows through everything, including these people that you look up to, is the same energy that flows through you as well, that emanates through you, that is making life possible within you, that's helping you thrive. It's that same energy too. So trust yourself. Know that you know what is true for you. Know that every step you take towards discovering your truth and taking actions on the basis of that is going to create a life that's truest to you. So if you have a clouded belief system, or you know your awareness about who you are is clouded by other people's opinions or perspectives of you, even if it's loved ones, what you can begin doing is, the first step is to recognize your likes and dislikes. The most easiest way to do this is actually to go back to your childhood, or even near um, even the recent past or the nearest past as well, and recognize during an exchange of words, during an activity, during an exchange of emotions, how were you feeling in your body, how were you feeling in your soul, in your mental sphere as well, what thoughts were rising up, what beliefs were bubbling up to the surface. Remember that, recognize that, especially as a child, would be very helpful because we're still forming our consciousness there. So, a lot of our reactions must be very true compared to who we are today because we're still conditioned, right? So, take a note of the energies and emotions and awareness that had come up during those days, during your childhood days. That's going to be a very good tell all to create a list rather of things that are true to you. Another thing that you can try is jot down everything that you think is negative about you. Then have a brutally honest conversation with yourself. If you are up for it, actually invite your higher self in and ask, what is the strength here? What is it that I'm not recognizing about this thought pattern? Is it coming from somebody else? Is it actually mine? Is this serving me now? Is this going to serve me in the future? Ask these questions, and that's going to give you a lot of clarity. Another question you can ask about that trait is, what is actually right about this? Has this way of being been helping you in the past or in the recent past, and now how can you work with it more consciously in a more sincere manner? And especially the sincerity lies not towards anybody else but towards yourself. The sincerity that you should be showing towards who you are at your core, at your soul level, right? The next thing that you can do is, if someone passes a judgment, especially or even if it's a loved one, just ask this question: is it really, really true for me? Then ask, has this way of being, has this trait actually helping me in life, or has it held me back? Be brutally honest with yourself. You will know what the answer is. Recently, I saw this video on Facebook. Someone had shared it, and it was actually about an author, and I sadly don't remember their name. But the story was somewhere like this, that this individual, when they were a teenager or a preteen, they were giving an exam for English, I suppose. And so they had a lot of red marks in their answer sheet when it was corrected by the teacher, because they were encircling every spelling mistake. Yet they were receiving C minus, and the next time they actually received an A minus. So the child was a lot confused. Then this child's mother, she consulted with the teacher and asked what's up, essentially. And the teacher mentioned that, and I think they said it to the child as well, that your spellings may not be right and it's something that you may have to work upon, but your way of writing is extremely impactful and it's amazing, basically. So that's how that conversation went. But what she said next, it's not verbatim, it's what I remember as a message. And I feel that that was such a wonderful message. She said that, I do not want you to spend your life being average on correcting your weaknesses or overcoming your weaknesses. I rather want you to become great by banking upon your strengths. And that individual is a renowned, and as far as I remember, a bestseller author as well as of today. So that's what you need to do with your weaknesses. Recognize the intentions behind them. You will have to dig deep here and recognize what was the intention here. Where was it coming from? It's almost always going to be a place of protecting yourself or safeguarding yourself, and that's completely fine. Now you know that you are magical enough to create something to safeguard yourself from something worse, right? You're still trying to protect yourself from something worse. Now, remembering that energy, remembering that intention, directed towards activities, ways of thinking, ways of being that you know at your core are going to help you to become a better person for yourself, for nobody else. Even if it's not about becoming better, it's more so coming home to who you are. Dismantling, releasing, breaking down every belief, every energy that you embodied and solidified in your being that's not true to you. Remember that you know who you are at your core. So figure out ways, figure out activities, figure out what you need to do that can help you remember who you are at your core. Next thing that you can do, and I highly, highly insist that you do, is build your energy library. As an individual who is energy sensitive, who is hyper aware of other people's emotions and wants to tend to them in a caring and nurturing way, you are aware of energies more than an average person, probably because you're more open to receiving them, right? So make that your strength instead of that becoming your weakness. Practice every day to tap into your energy field. You can do this by trying different activities. One of them, very simply, could be asking your body what would it like to wear between two different outfits or three different outfits, whatever the number is. Ask your body what color does it want to wear, what kind of a texture does it want to feel today. Another could be when you're wanting to eat something, if you're ordering or if you're making food, just ask what your body wants to consume today. Tap into that awareness. And this is And this is like building a muscle for sure, so you will have to practice this as much as you can, but it's a gift that keeps on giving, because your energy antennas or your receivers will really sharpen up. This will help you tune up your intuition and reception, and tune into your intuition and tune up your receivers. So what's that going to help you with? Because when you hone your energy sensitivities, that in itself is actually going to be, if not the only, but one of the most foundational basis of understanding your strength and your truths. Because you will start figuring out quite quickly, and probably quicker than before, the red flags in people. You can watch a red flag walking by or passing by, whatever it is. You will start recognizing when people are manipulating you, trying to manipulate you. You will start recognizing when someone is actually projecting their insecurities on you. Even in your own expression, you will start realizing when you are projecting from fear, from insecurities, because that's how refined your reception will become. And lastly, what will happen is, because you are highly aware of your energy, of what you know is true for you, because you have formed this belief system, formed your sense of self on the basis of what is true to you, you will have a clearer perspective on life, a clearer perspective on what path, what thing, or what choice is for you at this point in time and is not, basically. You will not be afraid of going against the grain. You won't be afraid of standing out, and not just that, you won't be afraid, you will be standing strong in who you are, standing strong in your foundation. And this will not come from a place of wanting to rebel, but rather from a place of being true to who you are, truly understanding who you are, truly understanding your beliefs, truly understanding what is it that you want, what kind of actions to take, what kind of a soul and being you are. So the more you are rooted in this, the easier it will be to trust your own choices, even if no one is agreeing with you or no one is able to provide you information or guidance moving forward about this, because you will be trusting yourself. You will have a better connection with your spirit guides, with unseen forces, if you do believe in them. Even if you don't, you will definitely have a stronger connection with your inner world, with your inner being, and that in itself will guide you to the right path. So I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you really like the video. If it helped you in some way, shape, or form, thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.